Greetings from the wasteland and welcome to our weekly look at some of the new releases, hopefully headed to an independent record store near you. And I say hopefully because after our inaugural edition of this show last week, some of the big titles did not make it to our distributor in time and therefore did not make it to our store in time. So as always, check with your local record store to make sure that they're getting some of these things that are scheduled to come out. We'll get to a couple of those titles in a few moments. But first, here's a look at the slate of albums due to release on Friday, June 17th. Here are some of the new releases, hopefully headed your way, including something from the 80s alternative group The Alarm. This is an album called Omega, and it's a limited vinyl pressing of all brand new music from The Alarm. Our description says it was written and recorded over 50 days during lockdown. The band released this album digitally on the day that it was completed, and it's been available on CD, but now also available on vinyl for the first time. There's also something new coming from the Rolling Blackouts CF. This is called Endless Rooms. The Melbourne Quintet returns with some brand new music on this third studio album. Described by the band as doing what we do best, chasing down songs in our room together. I know I read in the news somewhere that Rolling Blackouts are supposed to be very popular this summer across the US. Sorry, this album will list for about $25. New stuff also from Blitzen Trapper, All Across This Land, limited edition vinyl, listing for around $25. There's also some new country music on the way for Friday, June 17th, including this one from Hank Williams Jr. called Rich White Honky Blues. Available on black vinyl, but also an indie exclusive gold vinyl. This one will list for around $25. Newer artist Blund returns with an album called Songs My Friends Wrote. He describes this as a bunch of tracks that are his versions of a bunch of songs written by his friends, and he says he's lucky to count among his friends a world class of songwriters. So there should be some interesting stuff on here. This one's coming on an indie exclusive colored vinyl, limited edition, and according to our description, this is star signed, i.e. autographed by Blund. No word if any of his friends have autographed it as well. Also something brand new coming from Lori Morgan and Pam Tillis. This is on gold vinyl and it's called Come See Me and Come Often. This is a long-awaited vinyl companion to a very special duet album by two of the queens of contemporary country music. Pam Tillis is the daughter of icon Mel Tillis, and Lori is the daughter of country hitmaker George Morgan. Lori Morgan and Pam Tillis, Come See Me and Come Often, will list for about $27. On the reissue front, coming up on Friday, June 17th, we've got one from Joe Cocker. This is called Respect Yourself. It's a vinyl LP pressing of Cocker's 2002 album. It features 11 tracks and a masterful version of one of the INXS classic songs, Never Tear Us Apart. Joe Cocker's Respect Yourself will list for $30. A couple of very interesting ones from David Bowie. We've got a half-speed remastering of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders of Mars. The remastering of this was done in 2012, but now they're pressing it on a half-speed master limited edition pressing. This includes a bonus poster as well. And for a half-speed master, this is coming in at a fairly reasonable price, listing for around $25. But wait, there's more. This remaster is also going to be available on a limited edition picture disc set. By the way, I should mention this is a 50th anniversary remastering for both of these. And the picture disc does feature a replica promotional poster for the album as well as the remastered music itself. So look for this pair of very cool David Bowie stuff. The picture disc, by the way, also listing at around $25. And coming from the good folks at Mobile Fidelity, we have got an Alan Parsons Project Eye in the Sky reissue. This one is an original master recording coming on double LP 180 gram, but it is a 45 RPM release. And because it's MoFi and original master recording, it's clocking in at a suggested retail price of around $78. Got a reissue from Ronnie Montrose, or Montrose, with Sammy Hagar at the vocals. This is Paper Money. And this is coming on either a green vinyl, which makes sense because of Paper Money, or a red vinyl version. Each of those are limited edition, and that will list for around $36. A 50th anniversary reissue from Michael Nesmith and the Second National Band. This one is 1972's album Tantamount to Treason, Volume 1, coming on 180-gram blue and white splatter vinyl. This one a little hefty as well, listing at around $45. Another cool reissue from the Flamin' Groovies. This is Shake Some Action, one of their biggest hits. Being served up on limited edition colored vinyl. Doesn't say what color though, unfortunately, on our description. This one will list at around $34. Speaking of interesting reissues, this one coming from Queen. This is called the Platinum Collection. It is a 6 LP set, but here's the thing. It's not Queen albums, except it is their trio of greatest hits albums. Yes, Queen Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3 being served up in one package together. Each of the pieces of vinyl is on a different and unique color and comes in a slipcase with new artwork. The set also comes with an exclusive 24-page photo booklet as well. This one coming in at a suggested retail price of around $150. But I would imagine that it has pretty much every single Queen song that you could ever need or want in one big collection. Speaking of big collections, something from the Beach Boys. This is a reissue of Sounds of Summer, the very best of the Beach Boys, and this comes in both an expanded edition and a regular double LP edition. The Super Deluxe 6 LP version features 80 key tracks over the course of their storied career, all newly remastered, and is available on 6 LP 180-gram vinyls. It's a limited edition pressing with updated photos and liner notes. The Beach Boys Sounds of Summer box set clocks in at a suggested retail price of $180, and the 2 LP version features 30 tracks, 13 new stereo mixes, including one first-time stereo mix. Doesn't say which song, unfortunately, but newly remastered and available on standard black double LP with updated photos and liner notes as well. The 2 LP version of the Beach Boys' very best of Sounds of Summer clocks in at $40. Here's a reissue of Kylie Minogue and Fever. This one originally her 2001 album, being reissued on vinyl. And again, a little bit of a hefty tag on this. This is a Rhino Warner UK import, listing at around $43. The Information Society, remember them? Think hard, you might. This is their self-titled album being reissued from 1988, coming from Tommy Boy Music. On clear vinyl, this one has a suggested retail price of $28, right around in there sometime. Limited edition as well. And finally, on the reissue front, something from the Gun Club, some cool punk. This is the Las Vegas Story being billed as a Super Deluxe set. It's a double LP pressing of the Gun Club's 1984 album and includes a digital download of the never-before-seen home movie of the band. So check that out to get a chance. Suggested retail price coming in at around $30. There are also a couple of hard rock 80s metal reissues on the way for Friday, June 17th, including this one from Quiet Riot, Alive and Well. This is a reissue of their 1999 album with the classic Quiet Riot lineup, coming on a double LP from Cleopatra Music on red and black splatter vinyl. This one lists at around $40. We've also got a double LP of Whitesnake's greatest hits on the way. They revisit their multi-platinum career with new remixes of some of their biggest hits for this new collection that spotlights updated versions of classic tracks like Still the Night, Here I Go Again, and Is This Love. Be careful when you hear a description that says updated versions, because these could be some newly recorded versions of that. We'll try to get an answer on whether or not that is the case with this Whitesnake's greatest hits, but given their dodgy wording in the description, that very well could be. Double LP set clocking in at a suggested retail price of around $35. And it seems like every couple of months or so, we get another reissue of Skid Row's self-titled album, originally released in 1989. In this case, though, we've got a couple of versions coming this Friday from Friday Music, one on limited edition clear orange vinyl and another on red vinyl, both of those limited edition, and their list price is coming in at around $36. Now on to a couple of releases that were supposed to come out last Friday, but for whatever reason were delayed, at least to our distributors. You may have seen them in your store, but we're still waiting for word on what happened with Samantha Fish's Black Wind Howlin'. We will try to keep updated on that and see where things go and pass that along when we know more. But also Eric Clapton's Mobile Fidelity reissue of Unplugged. That release date on our distributor at least was moved back to this coming Friday from last Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if those show up from Mobile Fidelity, and hopefully they will, and we can get them out to you guys as well. But some other cool compilations. There's a tribute to Eric Clapton with some various artists on the way for this Friday, June 17th. An astonishing all-star cast of rock, blues, and country guitarists gather to pay tribute to the undisputed guitar god Eric Clapton himself. Includes superb interpretations of selections from all facets of Clapton's catalog, including songs from Blind Faith, The Yardbirds Scream, and of course his solo work. Some of the artists appearing on here include Kirk Fletcher and Brian Auger, Sammy Kershaw, Albert Lee, Arthur Brown, as well as Jack Russell, Molly Hatchet doing Layla on here, and a whole host of others. The Eric Clapton tribute comes on gold vinyl, and it looks to be a single LP reissue, clocking in at a suggested retail price of $27. Now here's a very cool compilation album called Brown Acid, The 13th Trip. This is a reissue, and I forget exactly when this came through, but this is a gathering of truly, truly obscure acid rock bands from the early 70s. And the only reason I know this is because here at the store, we recently had a copy, a single 7-inch LP copy of Master Dance. That's a Detroit group, and it included their song Feelin' Dead. Check that out, by the way, on our YouTube channel. Look for that, and you can listen to this. But that was included, rather, on the original version of this Brown Acid 13th Trip. So now we have got a reissue of that, a lot of different proto-metal, heavy psych stuff from actually the late 60s and early 70s. Looks like it's coming on black vinyl from Revolver Records and Riding Easy Records with a list price of around $28. That should be a very interesting compilation. Speaking of great compilations, here's one called Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. This is a double LP pressing, and it's the original motion picture soundtrack that accompanies Questlove's directorial debut documentary Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, which won the Grand Jury Prize and Audience Award at the latest Sundance Film Festival. No listing of artists on our description, but it will have some fantastic soul music throughout. That one coming on double LP black vinyl and lists for around $31. Got a cool jazz reissue this Friday as well, Bill Evans Trio 65. This is from the Verve Acoustic Sound series, so you know it's going to sound very nice. This lists at around $39. As well as a very interesting one from the classic Hungarian jazz guitarist Gabor Szabo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is an album called Dreams, originally released in 1968. This is an expanded version which comes with 2 bonus tracks, which include a radio version of Fire Dance and Ferris Wheel, which was a 7-inch single from 1969. If you're unfamiliar with Szabo, he is kind of a mixture of rare Eastern and psychedelic jazz. So it's some very, very cool stuff. Dreams is coming from Light in the Attic Records and will list for about $31. And finally, a new segment that looks to the horizon and shows you a couple of anticipated releases coming up in the not too distant future. We got word that Jack White's new album is for sure on the way, coming on July 22nd. This is called Entering Heaven Alive, coming from Third Man Records, of course. There's going to be a black vinyl version and an indie exclusive blue vinyl version, so we can look forward to that in July from Jack White. And another one that's not too big, but I'm really thrilled about this one because it's only really ever appeared on bootleg form before. You can find some otherwise, but the bootleg has been more readily available. This is from Cake, and finally a reissue of Fashion Nugget coming from Sony Legacy Records. This one due on July 8th, and it's a great, great Cake album. So looking forward to this one. We'll list for $27 when that comes out in July. So that is a quick check of the new releases scheduled for release on Friday, June 17th. If you get a chance, check them out. If you are local and would like to pre-order a copy of something you've seen, we'll do our best to get it for you. Obviously, it's not a guarantee, but contact us here at the store before Sunday evening, and we'll put one of those on pre-order for you. If you are not local but are still interested, contact us as well. We do ship. And as always, I wish we could guarantee that these things are going to be here, but as last week showed us, not always the case, but we will do our best to get them. So we will see you next time from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Thanks for watching.